everybody, and welcome to Toffee and Bluecast. We are here, instant match reaction. Dropping the banner on now, you'll see along the bottom. What has happened? What has happened? Tottenham 4, Everton 0. That is the score. Goal scorers: Basuma, Son, Romero, and Son. And yes, I have Paul Caswell on with me. We'll try and get through a bit of our reaction on the game. It hurts these two, to be fair. It's not good doing an instant match reaction when you lose. It's better when you win. Paul, how you doing, mate? You all
right? Upset, bit worried as well, especially after the first two games. But kind of hard to see where we come back. I know we've got players coming back, but a lot of that squad kept us up last year and just haven't progressed at all, have we? In fact, we've probably took a step back, I'd say.
Yeah, well, we know we have got Branthwaite injured and the right back situation isn't what we would like it to be. But I thought
Dixon played all right.
Dixon, yeah. I was just going to say that. I actually thought I watched Dixon all game, and Dixon was the main person that I watched because I thought, you know what? If he makes any sort of mistake, he's going to get called out for it. So I had my extra eye on him just to say, I was thinking, plus you want Dixon to do well, and you want to kind of say, yes, the young players can play. So I've got my eye on Dixon, and he comes up one-on-one. Again, Spurs are really attacking down their left-hand side and got really tricky, fast players. So Dixon, he's got a massive game on his hands here. And he's stopping them. One-on-one, stops them. Jockeys, guides, runs, doesn't dive in like Holgate would. And I was thinking, you know what, Dixon? What a first half you had. And then I thought, can you back it up the second half? And I can't fault Dixon the second half either. He was fantastic. I can't think of anything Dixon did wrong in that performance and we lost 4-0.
I know. Tough game place to go as well, Tottenham. We've had a few drubbings there over the past few seasons as well. So I know they scored 4 and you're kind of praising a defender, which seems a bit strange. But yeah, for a very young lad going to the Tottenham Stadium against some of their players, I thought he was one of the small highlights in an otherwise awful game, really.
No, I agree with you. He was the like one positive that I could take out of it, to say that we have got someone that can probably play this right back position. Emma says, and Dash wouldn't have played him if Young wasn't suspended. I think that's the case with a lot of players. Arobenham, he probably wouldn't have been playing if James Garner wasn't injured, and he's been quite good. And the same with Dixon as well. It seems that all the new players that come in are better than what we've got. I mean, Arobenham, he's been probably our best centre midfielder. He's been better than Garner Gay, if you ask me.
I think though, again, like we get easily overrun in midfield with only 2 players, irrespective of who plays there. I just don't think we've got the skill set to only have 2 players. We're better as a 4-3-3 or 4-5-1. But it's like you say, I thought Dixon was, and to be honest, in the second half, I know we conceded another 2 goals, but we seem to have shots on target when Lindstrom and Ndai were back on as well. So I know he's saying that people haven't got Premier League experience, but he's using players with Premier League experience, and in the first 2 games we've conceded 7 goals and not scored. So even if they have got experience, it's not helping the cause.
No, I completely agree with you. I could still hear you. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Premier League experienced players, it doesn't mean nothing. The Tottenham fan said that on. He said Holgate's got experience, but what's that mean? What does experience mean if you haven't got it's about form for me. It's about form more than experience. And these new players, I also, it's hard because when and Jai and Lynch come on, they've come on in a game where you're 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get into a game where you're 2-0 down. I think if Lindstrom and Ajayi start the game, they get told probably the night before they're going to play, so you get ready, proper prep for the game. And also, when they go into the game's 0-0. the game's in their hands. Do you know what I mean? When they're coming on, i.e. and Lindstrom, they know they've got to score 2 goals to draw, 3 goals to win. So I can't. Although I would say Lindstrom come on and he had a shot on target straight away, a good shot down the right hand
seconds
side.
in on it.
Yeah, 5 seconds of shot on target, Lindstrom, which we wasn't having, a power drive, and he looked a bit more. And the same with Njayi. Although Njayi didn't do anything major because we played him on the left, man, Njayi, he looked like when you just feel when he's got the ball, don't you, Caswell Njayi, that he's going to do something and that he offers more. And that Tottenham could tell that as well. You could see Spurs think, oh, he's a tricky player, we'll back off, and it just adds something different to what we've got.
I think the biggest, there was 2 big things that I saw: running in behind, which just naturally creates a bit more room between defence and midfield, no matter which team you're playing against. If you've got players running in behind, and they weren't afraid to run forward. I think the other big thing in the second half that I noticed was when DCL went up and won a header, it was basically them 2 that were, because they actually got within 10 yards of him, they pick up the second ball. So rather than DCL jumping up and someone being 25 yards away, you'd have to do a powerful header to find one of our players. We actually had players within 10 yards of him, so we were picking up that second ball and actually being able to go forward a bit more. But
I do think at the start, you're right in what you're saying, and I think at the start of the game, Caswell, I thought Calvert-Lewin was causing the defenders problems, and I think if we did start with a better attacking team, like against Brighton,
a more attacking minded team, a team that aren't afraid to get up and get close to him. I mean, even when he wasn't a fan favourite, the one thing Iwobi would do is if we knocked the ball long, he wasn't afraid to get forward and get within 5 yards of a player when he used to be here. And Lindstrom and Dye, as soon as that ball goes over Gay's head, who's normally the furthest midfielder back, they will actually naturally run forward, and it just puts their fullbacks, just puts a question mark in the back of the mind. And we didn't have that till 60 minutes when they came on. Because the first 60 minutes, I think we had, 25% possession and about 3 shots. You're never going to win at Tottenham with that. I know the second goal came from a mistake, but you still need more shots than that, especially with our shooting ratio. You're never going to score enough goals.
Yeah, I think we've got to try. I know last season we had Brantford and it massively helped because we was defensively stronger. And we could literally try and get a 0-0 from the off and try and nick a goal. But when your defence is unstable like it looks at the minute with the centre-backs, there are comments coming in, by the way. It says 321 people have clicked on. Some might have clicked off. 323 going up. So if you can hit that like, we want to come up with a record number of likes, and it's nothing to like. Just hit that like. And if you're not subscribed, it always tells us 60% of people that go on this channel are not subscribed. So if you can subscribe, it massively helps us because we want to do well with this channel and get some cracking guests on and stuff like that. So the bigger the channel looks, the more appetizing it is. So hit that like and subscribe. Just do it, please. I know sometimes you can't be asked, but do it for us. Once it's done, and it costs nothing. Comment coming in now from Johnny. It's about form, Dan. This is years and years of bad management from the top to the bottom.
Yep.
I think the players look. I honestly do think the new players, you play them, and I'm not even joking. Let's see what else other comments are coming. I'm not even joking. If Dyche would have played Njayi and Lindstrom a bit more instead of making it hard for them to get in. You can do as many training sessions as you want. I don't get this. You have to be a certain level at training. You can do as many training sessions as you want. I personally would put the guy in the games and get him up to standard in the games. I think the amount of that would have really helped Lindstrom and Njayi because they come in and they think, oh, this is what I've got to be up to. Then you play them again and then they come in and eventually 2-3 games in the Premier League, they're up to speed. So I think the only way you can get these new players up to speed is by playing them in the Premier League to get Premier League experience. That's just it. You can play them in the under-21s. It still doesn't get them up to how sharp the Premier League is. So you have to put these players in the Premier League. That's the only way to do it. I don't get what Dyche is doing on that part. I can't believe, and just jump on me as much as you want, I can't believe O'Brien didn't start today because...
Totally agree.
we'll talk about the
Totally agree.
goals, but for me, O'Brien, when you've got Keane and Tarkowski, they're both slow, so you sit deeper. So when you sit deeper, you might disagree with me here. When you sit deeper, your back line's deeper. Then your midfield is close to your back line, and all of a sudden you're just that extra couple of meters deeper. And I think on that first goal that Basuma scored, which was fantastic and unstoppable, by the way, I think it was a bit deep on closing it down. Do you know what I mean? I think if the back line's pushed up a little bit, we could push out a little bit more. I just don't like to see players get a shot on the edge of the box that close to goal without even being closed down or blocked. And as good as a goal as it was, I think us not having fast centre backs massively makes us struggle. And O'Brien starting would have been better. I'm going to move. We're going to talk about the goals, but I just want to say if O'Brien was playing on the Romero goal, I think O'Brien would have marked Romero. Romero is good in the air and he did attack it with power, but he should not be beating Tarkowski and Keane at the same time. I think if O'Brien was on, he'd be winning that at 6'6" and we'd be smashing it away. Just my opinion. I don't know what you lot think in the comments. What do you think, Casper?
Even further to O'Brien, I've not really seen him have to do much defensively, bar the Roma game when I thought he played very well. I know he's a friendly, but people still had a point to prove from both sides, and I thought he played well. More for the O'Brien thing, I thought he looks probably very Branthwaite-like, not to his level, but very calm on the ball. He can pick out a pass. I saw some very direct along the floor passes against Roma, who 2 years ago were the Europa League champions. And he managed that game really well against it. I know they wouldn't have had their full team out, but they had a strong team out. And he still managed against a squad that won the Europa League 2 years ago. So they're no mugs. I just look at Keane, who is very much a confidence player, and he's just totally devoid of confidence. And I think you probably need someone there with because it has been a tough 2 years for the fans, for the players, and I know they get paid for it, but they would have heard what Everton was saying. We are a very loud fan base, and sometimes you just need some fresh blood to say, let's not play on the back foot. Let's just go for it. I think, like you say, we've got Bournemouth next or Doncaster next. That is a good chance to try a different lineup and see how they play together. Because we can't be going to playing Doncaster next and hoping to win 1 or 2-0 and play the way we normally do. Let's get some players who might play on the front foot and give them that confidence going into Bournemouth. Say, if we play on the front foot, I know it's Doncaster, League Two or League One, can't remember now, but we've beaten 5-0. So let's just have a go against Bournemouth. I'd rather, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Our defence is letting us down, so let's go for it.
I completely agree. I think the first two games of the season, you as a manager, you've got that leeway where us fans would understand if you went attacking to try and find an attacking formation without you can get away with it. Try and attack, and us fans are like, yeah, at least we're seeing attackers. And then all of a sudden, as you go on, if it's not working and you are getting pounded, then you slowly make your team more defensive. But I just think at the start of the season, start attacking, and then thingy start to say, "Oh, it ain't working" or something like that. But I think the way we're playing is to stop the team from winning. So we're going into a game trying to stop the team from winning instead of trying to win. And it makes it so easy for the other team because the other team, we're not attacking them. It's easy for them to defend. They've got all of the possession and they're in complete control all of the game. We don't put no fear into teams and we don't look massively like scoring. And it frustrates me because if you think about it, we've got McNeil doing loads of defensive work, Harrison doing loads of defensive work. We also chucked Decore in to make it a free in centre midfield. And then when we go to attack, they can't get up. We don't look like attacking at all. And
not got the
it's
speed.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. We can't get up the pitch. You know, McNeil and Harrison ain't massively fast. They're not going to bomb it up the pitch with the speed and stuff like that.
No.
I think we've got to try and find something like you said, and maybe the Doncaster game is a perfect game to try and find a combination. But would I think that Dyche could change it for that and then go back to this defensive stuff? I don't know. I don't know. It's just frustrating at the minute.
I think last year we won a lot of games defensively. So when you look at conceded 7 goals in 2 games, we've got to find another way of winning because last year, bit boring for people, but still went down because I thought you're working hard and we're getting wins. That's all I want. I just want us in the Premier League getting into Bramley-Moore Docks, and then we get the additional 75 to 100 million pound that brings. But what we were doing was pressing from the top. It's not that we've stopped doing it. It's just teams have worked out how to play around that, and you've got to give it to the other clubs. They've kind of summed us up a bit, really. The issue we've got is we haven't got a plan B going on from that, and we quickly need to get one. Had we lost both games 1-0 and it'd been a quite close affair, and you could have said, well, because I remember having this conversation last year, and you and I were quite positive, saying, I know we've lost 3 games, but the first 2 games at home against Fulham and Wolves, we deserve to win, and we were very positive, saying, let's not get on Dyche's back, we're playing really well, blah, blah, blah. We haven't really got anything to say, yes, we've lost, but these are the positives. I can't, unless you can think of one, you can't really, moving forward, quote individual performances as a positive. You've got to see it as a team, and I can't really see any at the moment. So we've got to change something quite quick for me before it gets panicky.
You're bang on, and I'm jumping on what you're saying there. It's true because last season it felt like we was getting in all the right positions and we was getting enough attacking play where you could come out of the game and you thought, you know what, on our day
why
we could have won that.
This?
Yeah, we're thinking, well, why haven't we won this? And we was getting in good attacking positions. We didn't look like conceding. So we wasn't leaking many goals. So you could come out of the game thinking, you know what, solid in defence and we just need to be better at finishing. But we are getting in the right positions and Dyche is getting us in the right positions. But it feels like all that's gone away. It really does feel like that. Like I am a little bit scared now after these 2 games. I'm not going to lie. I'm not normally scared because I'm... At the start of this season, I thought just do what we was doing last season, defend well, and we've got these attacking players in now where they'll probably finish what we wasn't finishing last season, and we'll be fine. A question to you and a question to people in the comments: is Branthwaite that instrumental to us? Because I do think he is. You know, I really do think he is. Like, if you think about it, your centre back starts everything off. Your centre-back comes and gets the ball off Pickford and he controls the midfield in front of him. So he puts it to the midfield how they want it. He stops everything. And I think that Tarkowski is twice the player when he's playing with Branthwaite. I think Tarkowski, when he's playing with Michael Keane, becomes less of a player.
It's not that. It's I always remember seeing a clip with Rio Ferdinand, and he always said, I never had to worry about my right back when Gary Neville was playing there. So when Tarkowski's playing, the reason why he's better is the channel that he has to defend, he only has to worry about that. Exactly. Whereas when Branthwaite isn't playing there and it's somebody else, I'm not saying that he doesn't trust him, but he probably needs to look a little bit more or think, right, I normally stand here when I'm playing with Jared, but I'm probably going to stand here just in case that defender misses him so I can sweep up. I think the other thing with Jared is when Branthwaite's playing is we can play further upfield because he's quicker. He's actually, for a big bloke, he's actually very fast. So you can play naturally further up the field.
We didn't even have that option of pressing Spurs. Spurs looked like, if last season we scored a lot of goals, even against Brighton when we beat them 4-2 the other season, we scored a lot of goals just by pushing all the bodies onto the players and pressing as a complete 11. 10 because Pickford don't press. But we scored a lot of goals through pressing, and it does feel, you're right, it feels like with these centre-backs, we haven't got the option of press. So Spurs looking to pass out from the back, it was so easy. And we didn't put them under pressure at all. So not having Branthwaite takes that away, doesn't it, Caswell?
I think teams have have worked out how we press, and we haven't changed our ways of doing it. If that's your primary way of doing it, you should really be pushing up more. So I just think it is time for a
Well,
change. Look for Plan B. Um, People are starting to panic, and I totally understand why. We've had 2 or 3 awful seasons. You and I have spoke a lot, along with when Toffee Bluecast first started, about how it's been. But it's a time to just have a little bit of a change and have a little bit of a change of mentality. Because when your mentality is defence and your defence isn't working, let's change it to attack. Because even like Man United in the heyday, they used to do counter attack, but they just have rapid players, and we don't have that, so we can't rely on the counter attack. We can't rely on doing the press in the final third, like you said, because if our defenders are deeper than the midfield is, and you can't ask Calvert Lewin to press 4 defenders by himself.
no, you are right. Like you say, to go out to defend when you feel like your defense is weak is pulling out something that you're going to struggle with. And I think you've
Yeah,
got to try and bypass what you're weak with. You're completely right. There's some cracking stuff that you're saying. Christopher Sullivan, I don't find it funny, mate. I don't find it funny. Paddy Power have paid out on Everton being relegated. Dyche is everyone's taking the piss out of us. Yeah, I know. Oh, I don't think we'll get relegated. I don't know.
no,
It is starting to frustrate me. The alarm bells ain't ringing, but I just know that we could be doing so much better, and that's why I always keep moaning at the minute. And I don't want to be moaning. Like if we got battered by Spurs and we played at the best we can, I'd say, you know what, fair enough. But when I'm seeing players on the bench that could look effective, when I'm seeing O'Brien not on, when I feel like Michael Keane's going to set us back a little bit, I don't like it. Brighton will finish top 8. Spurs will be top 3. We'll be bottom half. He makes a good point.
oh yeah,
I think
no.
Brighton have just
To be
beat
honest,
Man United.
I've got
Yeah,
to
he
be honest.
makes a good point.
I actually think
That's
Brighton
positive.
will be in Europe. They look
Yeah.
very good. The opening 2 games, and yes, Spurs will be top 3. They've got an amazing squad, and that's the type of squad we'll have after 3 years of being in our new ground. 'Cause like I say, it'll bring another 75 to £100 million income a year just by renting it out at the weeks that we're not there. It's not so much that we've lost to him; it's the manner that we've lost to him, with the lack of fight, the stuff that we were seeing at the start of last season. Even after 5 games, I think we lost 4 and drew 1, but we always thought that there was a run in us. We always thought that we were going to win Summit. We actually thought we were playing as a mid-table team, like we're having 20 odd shots and still keeping teams at bay. I can't see any of that at the moment, and I think what was happening last year, if it's not working, we just need a change. That's all. We just need to change, freshen it up, get these new players in. They've come here, they'll want to prove a point. They've come to Everton. We've gone out and bought them. They'll be like, right, I want to. They've got loud fans. I want a song named after me. I want to go into Bramley Moore Docks with Everton absolutely loving me. You know what I mean? I think we've kept hold of our star man, Jared Branthwaite, so we do have something to go forward. We have got players coming back, but we've got to think, right, when some of our key men are out, this is what we're like. Probably have to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, we are going to get injuries throughout the season. We've seen that with Tarkowski. He's not always going to play every single game. Brandpoint might be out sometimes. He's not going to be fit. And we can't just rely on players as heavily as we do. We can't just, like, when a player comes out, get battered. We need some contingency plan and players to come in and be okay. I do think Dixon massively, as we've already said, really did himself good today.
Yeah,
And
I thought
I,
he got run ragged, but he didn't. In fairness,
yeah, and against hard opposition as well. So that's a massive plus for me. That is a plus. We need Branthwaite to come in. I can't believe if you would have said to me when we signed O'Brien that when we haven't got Tarkowski and Branthwaite, Keane would be the man. I would say, what is the point on signing O'Brien for 22 million? Some people will tell me he's not ready, but the same people probably told me Dixon wasn't ready, who didn't put a foot wrong today in the game.
yeah.
And the same people that probably would have said Irobenham couldn't play for us at the start of the season, but he's looking like our best centre midfielder. So I think Dyche when he's got nothing to lose and the squad looks thin, just play the new players and see how they get on and see how we can do, because we've been battered by Brighton. How many goals we flooded from Brighton? Was it 3? And then we've just got battered 4-0.
7 conceded into it.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
last
So
year
we've
we
been
had the
beat
4th
3-0,
best
4-0.
defence.
And we've been beat 3-0 and 4-0, and we put out, Dyche has put out players that we knew would fail. It's no surprise when Keane's in the squad. I'm not putting it all on him, by the way, because there was more than Keane today. But I'm just saying, us Everton fans, we're used to being battered with Michael Keane. And Michael Keane's used to being battered with Everton. So I think we need to change it up and put players in like O'Brien that have come to Everton. O'Brien's come to Everton and he wants to change us. And I know Brighton's got no Everton reputation of getting battered. He was at Lyon and he pushed them up the league and he made Lyon smash it. So chuck O'Brien in. He'll probably want to prove himself and he'll make us defend well. I don't know. I know what some people say. Dyche knows everything. Leave it to him. He knows more than me. I'm not saying I know more than Dyche, but I'm just saying, for me, when the new players have come on, they've not looked that bad. They've not looked that bad, Casper, and they've looked up to speed. And I want to see them more. I really do.
Dyche does know more than us. He's a Premier League manager. The thing is, we're entitled to our opinion, and you can't deny what we've seen. So we've seen a team like who, in the first 20 minutes against Brighton, it was just poor decision making. Like how many times were we offside? They're stuff that a Premier League professional attacker shouldn't be doing. It was what 5 or 6 times we were offside, and it's like a bit of lazy thinking. Like Calvert-Lewin's going up for the header, no one's making the effort to get there. Second half, when we had fresh blood on and new players who wanted to prove a point and say, I'm at Everton and I want to be a star here. Calvert-Lewin's winning headers, we get the second ball. They press from the high line because we've got a bit more speed. And I think it was in the second half, was the first time when Lindstrom and Dye came up. We actually pressed from the front as a 3. And then the Goddard did that poor pass and McNeil picked it up. I know we didn't score from it, but Lindstrom had a shot off it. So it was just by having a few different people. I know we still conceded 2 goals on the break, but we just had a bit of a different mentality. And I thought, we're actually having a go here. There's actually something that looks exciting for Everton. And it was after 60 minutes. So that's the reason why, yeah, Dyche is a Premier League manager. I'll never be a Premier League manager. But we've all seen the same thing and we're all saying the same thing. No one's saying anything different to us, that the players that came on looked like they had a bit about them, something attacking wise, the mentality was different. And it's like I say, you can't blame Keane for it. It's just he is not strong. I don't even think he's not trying. I think he is trying. But it's like Holgate. I think Holgate tries when he comes on. He's just not a Premier League player. But they're the players that we've got.
It's not picking on Michael Keane, by the way.
No.
The Premier League is quality. And not everyone can handle it. Not everyone can handle it. And us Everton fans, we have got behind him so much. And I was behind him today, but there's a reason why he has often bad games for us. There's a reason he hasn't cemented that position. If Keane come in today,
he can't handle the pressure, Keane. That's the big thing with him. It's the pressure. You can handle it with Burnley because of I don't think the fans are as loud and there's less of an expectation from Burnley generally. And even despite our poor 3 seasons, there's still a high expectation with Everton, and there should be. Everton are a big club. When you come to Everton, you should know that there is going to be a massive expectation on you as a player. They want to see you work hard, and they want to see some quality from you. And in the past, we've always had it. I mean, our best run, like through Moyes and stuff, we had some quality players like your Pienaars and Kales, but they grafted as well. But they had that quality to finish off and stuff. Whereas I don't think they're not trying. They are trying. They're just. I don't think they can manage the pressure that comes with playing at Everton and in the Premier League. and I don't think we've got that quality to see us over the line. And that has come from the top over years of poor management and purchases of players. I saw a comment before about Thirlwell with the poor summer. I, with the money we've got, I actually don't think we've had a bad summer of signings. I know it's pre-season friendlies and stuff, but O'Brien, Lindstrom, and Dye, Eric Bonham from. I actually thought Eric Bonham was going to be a poor Villa signing from Villa because he's not really played for him, but I've liked him. The actual players we bought seem okay.
No, I did see there was a comment earlier on about Farewell, and I don't think Farewell's done anything bad. I think Lindstrom looks good. We just haven't seen him. O'Brien looks good, but we haven't seen it. I like I say, some players, some Everton fans are saying, "Oh, signings and stuff," but I do think we need a few players. But I don't think that Dyche is playing on new players anyway. Like,
Yeah. But he never did last season, did he? Branthwaite didn't play for the first, well, funnily enough, 4 or 5 games, and then we only drew one, and then he came in after, I don't know if it was an injury or a suspension, and maybe he.
Danjuma as
I
well.
think,
Danjuma was another one.
yeah, I think he can be quite loyal, Dyche, and try and give him a chance, but when you've lost 7-0, I think, phew, you, your loyalty and your patience has got to wear thin even as a manager. And I know you have to work with them every day, but sometimes you just got to say, look, I've given you a chance. You've just literally not been good enough. And we need a change of mentality, especially up front. I think we need a change in the midfield and just get a bit. I like the effort from all the players, but I just don't think we've got the quality. We probably need some people in there that are going to be a bit more comfortable on the ball. Hopefully, when Garner comes back, he can give us that. And yeah, we'll
There
see how
are
it goes.
there are some positive ones chucking comments, and there are some that are feeling it, and that's the way it's going to be. If you can be positive after that, then I rate you, to be
Oh,
fair, because I'm positive. But
totally agree, Peter.
yeah, don't panic. So,
No,
yeah,
no,
I get
no.
it.
I'm not panicking, but I'm just saying that I am saying that we lost our first 3 games, but last year came on AM saying, look, yeah, we've lost, but we were the better team. We've got something about us, blah blah blah. I can't say that this year.
No,
Brighton
we
last
have
time.
started the season really bad. Like if you think
Yeah.
last season, I think it was Fulham that we played, and we had about 10 chances, didn't take them, and
Oh,
lost one
yeah.
nil. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
had like 10 chances and
Wolves
so
and
many. Yeah,
Luton, same thing. Absolutely
exactly.
loads of chances.
It doesn't feel the same as that. Like me and Caswell have
No,
been
it doesn't.
saying, this Everton doesn't feel the same as last season. So I wouldn't be panicking if it felt the same, but we're not defending well. And I know that's probably because Branthwaite's out. But if it is because Branthwaite's out, why is O'Brien not in? That's what I want to know. Like
I don't think
I think
I don't think we're attacking as well either. We're not having as many
no.
chances, which is worrying.
You hit the nail on the head. The center of midfield scares me a little bit. That's what scares me is because I don't think Irobenham has been the problem.
Nope.
I don't think
I've,
he's
li-
been a
I've
problem.
I thought he was our best player against Brighton. I know it was a poor game, but I thought he was our best player.
Yeah, to go on a game, he hasn't been incredible, has he? He hasn't
But
been incredible.
he can't beat the clock, mate. He shouldn't
No.
be starting, should he? He should be coming on to seal up when we're 2-0 up. He should be coming on and saying, you're going to cut out every pass and get the win home for us.
No, see.
We should have young players who are fit, willing to get up and down the field and quicker with passes, quicker with vision. We should be having that, and then with 20 minutes to go, we're 2-0 up, and they're throwing on some attackers, and then we throw on Garner, Gay, and Dukes and say, run your legs off for 20 minutes. I know you're a bit old, but just run your legs off for 20 minutes, cut out all the passes, just kill this game off. We're taking the 23-year-old on, we're putting the 34-year-old on with the experience to just win a foul that isn't a foul, pass the ball to death, and just kill this game off. I mean, you can't blame Dice for that because he can only deal with the hand that he's dealt with. But there are some players, like you say, that we feel could change the mentality and get us further up the field and give us a chance to get an early goal and hold on to it.
Yeah, but it does feel like Dyche is holding on to the players last season, thinking that
Yeah.
they're going to do the same thing, and they're not doing the same thing. And the problem is, if Harrison and McNeil ain't doing it, and you're being loyal to them, like you're saying, and leaving them in, I think it does them more bad than good. I think they want pulling out themselves. I think Harrison probably needs pulling out, having a little recharge of his batteries, because Harrison hasn't been that good pre-season or now, so he probably needs to pull out himself and come back and earn the position again. And the same with McNeil as well. Ask yourself a question. McNeil's got left wing, Harrison's got right wing. Have they done enough in those wing positions to say to us watching them in the last 2 games to say, yes, you're guaranteed to get that position? No. So Dyche has got to change it up. I think Dyche has got to... He's got to give and Jai and Lindstrom the opportunity. Put them in and see, because we haven't seen that. Put them in, let them start the game, and just see Caswell. Just say, right, I've started McNeil twice. He hasn't set the world on fire. And I've started Harrison twice. He hasn't set the world on fire. So what I'm going to do, and I'm hoping he does this at Doncaster game, but what scares me is if he does it and they play well, whether he goes back to these experienced players. But I'm hoping that he just puts new blood in, because if he keeps playing the same hand as what he's playing, these players are just going to get lower and lower in confidence, and we will be in trouble. We will be in trouble. We need a change. Paul put a good positive in. We've lost against Spurs and Brighton. It'll probably finish higher than us. So if we say to ourselves now, it's a fresh start, they'll probably finish above us anyway. So if we start fresh, this Doncaster game, and change our style, and start the season again, that's honestly what I feel we need to do. Because we have got... But Dyche has to do this as well, by the way, because if he doesn't, it's just going to be the same old shit. I'm going from what you've said, Caswell. I think you're right. I think we need to put these games behind us. But the only way we put these games behind us and forget about what's happened is if Dyche puts some different players in. Because then us fans will be like, you know what? It's changed now. It's changed. And then we'll forget about everything. If Lindstrom and Jai comes in and we smash Doncaster and then we win our next Premier League game, we'll say to ourselves that we're not that shit team that got beat the first 2 games of the season. That's what we'll say to ourselves. We'll say that's in the past. That was because Lindstrom and Jai wasn't playing. We found the combination, and this is the Everton we are. And that's what he's got to do. Dyche has got to change it. But if Dyche puts the same team in Doncaster or puts the new players in Doncaster and then goes back to what we've got, all of a sudden, when he goes back to what we've got, Caswell, those 2 games come back in your head, don't they? You think, bloody hell, we're back here again. Do you know where I'm coming from? So, I think that's what we've got to do.
I totally agree with you. And in fairness, he did it Doncaster away last season. In first half, we were struggling, weren't we? And I think he brought Gay in better on and kind of changed the game a bit. And I think Gay then went on a run of starting every week. So I'm hoping I think we put a lot of youngsters in, so I'm hoping he doesn't put the youngsters in, but just tries maybe a couple of youngsters. Like I know he only played 5 minutes, but even in pre-season and when he played against Roma, that Armstrong looked good. I mean, we can't rely on an 8.
In the comments, he said he passes it forward. I wouldn't mind.
That's what
we need
want.
to try and find a combination that works. And Armstrong, I wouldn't mind giving him a go. I do think James Garner will be back soon. I think we massively missed James Garner. He wasn't performing that well, but I think you can see when he's not there.
It's not like he's quick at receiving the ball and passing it forward. And sometimes you just need to get up, don't you? But we'll see. I'm not going the Doncaster game, but I've got a ticket for the Bournemouth game, and I'm just hoping. I think it's like you said. Let's just put the 2 good teams. And I think the issue was we've not even been in the game, whereas previously, even against the good teams, like I remember against City when we lost 3-0, still clapped the team off because second half they still had a go and we still looked like we were going to score. Whereas I can't think by the first 20 minutes against Brighton. I couldn't really tell you where we looked like scoring by the Lindstrom shot. And that's in 90, 150 minutes of footy.
No, I agree. And only positive I've seen today was Dixon. So like we've just said, there's been 612 people that have clocked in. If you can hit that like and subscribe, it goes up 617 there. if you can hit that like and subscribe, just put us about. Let us come off the channel and be like, wow, it was worth going on and putting this content out for you. So hit the like and make sure you subscribe. It costs nothing. It just shows you sometimes when we come live. We're going to finish this now. I did see one of the comments. I do like to get you all involved, and I've tried to put as many as I can on the screen. That's what it's about, all of us getting together, meditation. There was a comment about Calvert-Lewin. The commentator said this, but I don't think it would be possible, by the way. The commentator, I think he's on the pot. But the commentator said Everton should sell Calvert-Lewin, sell Mopé, and get Ivan Toney. That's what the commentator said.
The thing is, though, even if we had Ivan Toney up front, if he goes up to win a header, there's no one around him still. He's all right against Brentford when you've got a midfield that's not afraid to get forward and take that gamble. But you could have Kylian Mbappe up front. If you're going to leave him up front by himself, he's going to have to take on 4 players by himself. I know you've got more of a chance with Kylian Mbappe, but it's I'll praise players when they play well, and I'll criticise players when they've been poor. But you can't really blame all Calvert-Lewin can do is win the headers like he's been asked to. He can't head them 25 yards back to our closest player. He can only head them 5-10 yards, like any striker can do. So if we're not 5 to 10 yards between him, it's a waste of a ball.
Do you think Calvert-Lewin will leave though? Because a lot of people were saying this is his last game.
But who's going to buy him?
I don't know. I don't think he'll leave because I think his wages and stuff. But he hasn't signed the contract. He is going to be someone that you've got to keep your eyes on at the end of the window because he hasn't signed the contract.
I don't think he'll go for mega money because since that season with Ancelotti, I know he's been plagued with injuries, but he hasn't had an amazing season. So
it's just the fact that his contract's up at the end of this season.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't sell him because he wants to leave, he'll probably just go on a free. So Everton have got to be clever financially because we paid nothing for him. If we did sell him, it'd be good on the FFP because anything we sell him for would be a profit. So even if we sold him for 20 million on the books would be massive. It would be massive. I'm not saying I want to sell him, by the way. And I think, like Caswell said, I don't think Calvert-Lewin was the problem today. He really put himself about. And I think if there was someone close to him, he would have had a bit of joy off Calvert-Lewin today. I do. The problem was that we wasn't close enough to Calvert-Lewin. And I think if you look at our wingers, was Calvert-Lewin and Harrison really dangerous? Did they give Calvert-Lewin service? No. Did Decore get close to Calvert-Lewin's flick-ons? Did Decore link up to Calvert-Lewin well? No. Did our midfield pass the ball well to create anything? No. I think you could, if you was to look at the problems today, I would say that the problems was probably from our midfield, mainly.
Yeah.
I think it was, I'm not even going to say put Michael Keane on it. I don't think our defence was that good, especially with the header. And I think we looked fragile, but I do think our midfield's got to be a lot better. I mean, our wingers just wasn't that dangerous. And then our centre midfield, like you said, Caswell, Garner Gay and Irobenham just wasn't good enough. Right, everybody, we are finishing anyway. Caswell, thanks for coming on.
I'm going to shoot, mate.
We're going now, mate, anyway. We are shutting it down, people.
See you later.
See you later, top man.
Bye.
Right, that is it. We've had Caswell on. It was longer than what I thought. I said I'd have him on for 20 minutes, but there's always too much to talk about for Everton. I was waiting for him to give the signal to go. We've been here for you anyway. We have been here for you. Thanks, everyone, for putting your comments in. If you can hit that like and subscribe, we are here before and after every game. And we do face the music even when we get battered 4-0. I mean, it hurt. It did. I didn't talk about Pickford too much because I think a lot of people will be jumping on him. I jumped on him at first, but I don't know. I don't know what to do, to be fair. It's a battering. And the only solution that I can come up with is what me and just Caswell said. I think you've got to put those 2 games behind you. But if you put the same team out, it's hard to put those games behind you because they come straight back. So me and Caswell said we've probably got to mix it up the next game and put some new players in. And then it starts to make us think new things are going to happen. And then we forget about those 2 games. 7 goals in 2 games is so bad. Branthwaite, I did say this when some people was talking about selling him. Is irreplaceable. He's a Rolls Royce, and Branthwaite needs to come back in. And he is the battery charge, the spine of Everton being good. I'm telling you, everything goes through Branthwaite. Everything's more comfortable around Branthwaite. If Branthwaite's playing centre back, Tarkowski's happy. Your left back and your right back's happy. Your centre midfielder happy as well. Branthwaite just makes everything feel better. So we need him back so bad. But I would like to have seen O'Brien come in, because I think he might have filled that position a lot better than Michael Keane. I really do. Up the top is everyone. Dropping the banner. Thanks for listening. If you can hit that like and subscribe, we will keep going live all the time before and after games. Up the top is bloody hell. I didn't even want to come live after that. What a nightmare that was. Cup game. Need to get that off our chest. Get that away out of our heads. Sorry. Saying Jabalmy, doesn't it?
It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell